I am Brother Apothecary Calvarian, sworn servant of the Deathwatch, bearer of the Emperor's mercy, and guardian of his gene seed. My duty is sacred, to ensure that no brother's sacrifice is in vain. I am their healer, their watcher in the dark, and when the hour comes, their harvester. This is not a tale of victory. It is a tale of sacrifice, whispered from a world that should have never borne witness to our presence. We descended upon Cyrenix 7, a dying rock swallowed by the encroaching Tyranid high fleets. The mission was critical. A relay tower pulsed with vital Imperial data that, if consumed or corrupted, could doom half a sector, an unless death for billions. My kill Team 7 warriors of disparate chapters dropped into the ruin of a once proud city, its structures choked with spore-slipped tendrils. They were my brothers, though not by blood. Tyrus, the leader, a crimson fist, his hammer blackened by centuries of war. Merek, a dark angel, silent as the void. Kalex of the Raven God, a shadow amidst shadows. And there were other Ultramarines, iron hands each bound by the Deathwatch oath, a mosaic of loyalty forged in humanity's darkest hour. As our boots struck the ash-choked soil, I felt it, the tremor beneath the earth, the hum of a world that lived and breathed in alien rhythms. The Tyranids were awake, and they had felt our arrival. We move. No delays, ordered Tyrus, his voice a growl over the vox. We advanced through desolate streets, past statues half melted from acid rain. Cyrenix 7 was dead, its people consumed. Its cities nothing more than skeletal husks, but the Deathwatch does not falter. The signal tower stood at the city's core, but every shadow seemed to writhe with life. They struck without warning, from rooftops and sewers. Chitinous forms erupted like geysers of nightmare. Hormagaunts and termagants screeched as they surged toward us. ... Contact, Merek shouted, his bolter barking. A moment of pure chaos followed. Tyrus' hammer split skulls, I core spraying across his armor. Kalex moved like liquid darkness, blades flashing in streaks of silver. I heard my name, Kale, to me. As Brother Dorian, his stoic ultramarine, staggered backward, his side gouged open by a rending claw. I knelt beside him, ignoring the shrieks and gunfire. My Northisham hovered as I worked, its saws cutting away ruined armor and flesh to reach his pulsing progenoid gland. Hold steady, brother, I said, though I knew he could no longer hear me. The gland came free whole, intact, and I cradled it within a gene vault, a life preserved amidst a death unknown. A shadow loomed over me. I spun to see a Tyranid warrior descending, its talons raised to cleave me in two. Boom! Tyrus stood above me, his hammer smoldering. Move, Kale. You will not join him yet. We pushed forward, step by bloody step, but the swarm grew endless. At times, I wondered if they rose from the soil itself. By the time we reached the tower, 3 brothers had fallen: Dorian, Merek, and Kalex. My vault was heavier with their legacy, each progenoid a treasure worth the lives we gave. Secure the relay, barked Tyrus. We fortified the base of the tower as the signal pulsed into the void. I could see the sky roiling miasma of clouds, dark with spores. We were running out of time. It was then that it appeared, a creature unlike the lesser beasts we had faced, a hive tyrant. It descended upon the tower like a specter of the apocalypse, its claws crackling with bioelectric power, its wings blotting out the dying light. Tyrus did not hesitate. Hold the line, he roared, charging the creature with his hammer raised. I watched as he struck, blow after thunderous blow, and yet the tyrant did not fall. It speared him through the chest, its claws punching through ceramite as if it were parchment. No, I cried, but my vox was drowned in static. Brother after brother fell. I fought as I never had before, my bolter roaring until its magazine was empty, my chain sword shearing through alien flesh. Yet I knew the truth we could not win. In the chaos, I saw Brother Tyr's body crumpled at the base of the tower, the tyrant's gaze turning toward me. My duty surged in my chest like fire. The progenoids, I had to retrieve them. Kill. Fall back, shouted the Iron Hand. Garen, his voice breaking as a swarm overtook him. I could not obey. My charge was clear. I reached Tyr's body as the tyrant closed in. I could hear the thud of its claws, the hiss of its breath. My Narvitian cut into Tyr's flesh, retrieving the progenoid in one final, desperate act. The tyrant loomed above me, its mouth opening to unleash a roar that shook the earth, and then a thunderclap. From above, gunships screamed down, lost fire and missiles carving through the swarm. The tyrant screeched as its wings were shredded, its massive bulk collapsing into the ground beside me. Extraction inbound. Vox to voice, the words a bomb to my battered soul. I do not recall how I was pulled from the ruins of Cyrenix 7. The next I remember, I was aboard a Thunderhawk, my armor streaked with gore. The progenoid vault rested in my lap 5 glands, the last remnants of my brothers. I looked around the cabin of our squad. Only I remained. 7 had descended. 1 had returned. My honor was intact, yet the silence gnawed at me. They were gone, and I could not share their final moments. Their legacies now rested in my charger, burden heavier than any boulder. When we reached the Deathwatch fortress, I delivered the progenoids to the reclusium. The chaplain nodded in grim approval. You have done well, Brother Kale. Their legacy will endure. But as I stood before the rows of gene seed caskets, I felt the weight of my oath settle deep in my bones. These were more than glands, they were my brother's hope, their sacrifice, their final gift to humanity. And in that moment, I vowed that their deaths would not be forgotten. For in the darkest hours of the Imperium, it is the legacy of the fallen that becomes our light for the Emperor.